All right, let's learn how to use Movavi Video Editor Plus 2021. And I'll also give you my thoughts on why it could be a pretty great beginner video editor for anyone making content. How's it going? My name is Andrew Murphy from Down Under in Gold Coast, Australia. So Movavi actually reached out to me and asked if I could check out their Video Editor Plus 2021, do a review on it, and they've actually sponsored this video as well. So exciting times for this channel. So in this video, I'm actually gonna show you exactly how to use Movavi Video Editor Plus 2021, as well as discuss what I like and I don't like about it as well. And to make it super easy to navigate, I've actually added the little segments of what I'm gonna be talking about in the tutorial down the bottom. So if you wanna skip to that, then you can just do that. And make sure to stick around until the end, because after I've shown you how to use the actual video editor itself, I'll show you a way to quickly add unique elements to any video using the Movavi Effects Store. Plus I'm giving you a free license to this software, which I'll tell you about a little bit later on as well. And while you're actually watching, make sure to let me know if you've used Movavi Video Editor Plus in the past. They've got heaps of different other versions. And let me know what you think of it as like a beginner video editor software. Alrighty, so once we're inside Movavi Video Editor Plus 2021, this is what we're gonna see. So if you're new to editing, then let's quickly break this down and then we'll get into it. So up in this top left corner, we have kind of like our import window. We've got a whole bunch of effects and transitions and text and all that kind of stuff. This is where we kind of find stuff before we bring it into our actual project, okay? So as you can see up here in the first tab, we have file import, we got our media bin. This is where our files are actually gonna live. We've got some sounds. These are just some royalty-free sounds that come with the program. Again, some music. This is just, again, some royalty-free music that comes with the program. Some sample videos, some backgrounds, and a few effects packages and whatnot. And then under filters, we have a whole bunch of different filters. So we've got some, color adjustments. We've got some blurring. We've got some, flying objects. We've got a whole bunch of stuff in here that you can add on top of your video to kind of spice things up. Next, we have transitions. So again, this is what you put between two clips to basically transition between the two clips. And also, if you actually click on it, it'll show you over here what that transition kind of looks like. So here, we can click on it and see what it's gonna look like. Then next we have titles. So again, we can click on it and it can show you what that title looks like. And then obviously once you drag it on, you can change all the text and whatnot. Got some really cool ones here. That's dope. Then we have stickers. So again, these are things you can drop on top and move around. So if you need to have a little circle or a little tick, you can throw that onto your actual footage and that can go in there as well, which is pretty cool. And then right down the bottom, we have kind of like all our effects that we can apply to our video and our audio tracks. So under the video tools, you can see here, we've got some color adjustments, crop and rotate, overlay, some animation stabilization, which a lot of people might use. You got like a logo, you got a scene chroma key. A lot of people, if you're doing like green screen stuff, you can do chroma key. You can slow clips down. And then under audio editing, we can synchronize clips together. We can, add an equalizer to it. We can do beat detection for music, and we'll actually show you where the beats are in the music. So if you want to edit to that, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. All right, so that is this over here. So now to the right of that is actually kind of like our program or our project window. So this is where we're actually gonna see our footage. So obviously this window here is where you're gonna see the footage when it comes up. Down here you have your time code. So this is obviously, as you scrub through, you're gonna see this in seconds and minutes and hours. Over here we have some kind of control, so we can skip to the start or skip to the end. We can play it, and then this one just skips back or forwards a frame, which is really cool. And then over here we have our actual aspect ratio. So by default, it makes it a 16:9 actual project, but you can just click on it and change it to anything. So if you want to make it 4:3 or make it 9:16 for say like Instagram stories, you can quickly and easily change that as well. And then we kind of have like a master volume here and also a screenshot button as well if you want to take a screen grab and save it for later. And then down the bottom here, this is what we call our timeline. So this is where all our clips are going to live, and this is how we're actually going to edit our video together. So here we have a video track, we have a music track and a text track. And then up here, we can add in new video tracks or audio tracks or title tracks if we want. So say if we needed a second video track to add B-roll, you can just click that and it will add a second video track. Super duper easy. And up here we have obviously Command Z or undo. We have redo. We have delete in case you want to delete a clip. We have a cut, but I'm going to show you a shortcut about how to do that quicker. That will actually just cut a clip in half. And then this is a rotate tool, so a quick rotate. Then we have a crop tool, so basically if you want to, you know, cut the edges off your image, then we can use it with that. Here we have our color adjustment. So this actually just allows us to quickly go to those settings and then we can quickly change that. And then this one is all the actual clip properties. So this is like, you know, like the scale of it and the speed and all that kind of stuff as well. Then we have our transition wizard. So this will add a transition to all the clips if you want to, you know, add like a crossfade to everything or a certain transition. And then this one will actually add a marker. So if there's a certain point in your video that you actually want to, you know, add something in later or reference, then you can add a marker and it will show up on your timeline as well. Then down here we have our scale, which I'll be able to show you more when we actually have clips in the timeline. And then down here we have our project length. So again, once you add clips in, it'll tell you how long the actual project is. And then we have our notifications down here, which will kind of like give you a few like tutorials and stuff and kind of like suggest a few things as well. And you also notice down here, you can't see it now, but this is actually a status bar as well. So once we actually start adding stuff in, stuff will actually start populating here and it will tell us what's actually happening in the background. So the first thing we need to do is obviously to make an edit, we need some clips. So let's add in some clips. So if we want to add a folder, then we can click add folder and we can navigate to our folder and then we can click open and it'll just add all those clips straight away. So here we go, they're analyzing and they're all adding in now. And there we go, we got a whole bunch of different clips that we're gonna kind of like make a little promo edit for. So now once you actually have your clips in here, to preview them, you basically just click on them and it will preview over here. Now these are actually like C200 files, so that's why it's going a bit slow. But what you can do is if you actually drag this into our timeline, now you see down here, oh, we got low disk space. So how we fix that is we just click on it and we just choose browse. And we just need to navigate to a folder that has more space. So let's go to our actual folder. It's gonna make a folder called Movavi and click open. And now we can see it's actually optimizing this clip and making a proxy file. And that's what we're gonna need to be able to edit faster. So let's just let it do its thing. So at the moment you can see that it's kind of like, was not really playing at all. It's kind of like very jerky and isn't really working. But once it actually optimizes that clip and makes a proxy, it'll make it ridiculously fast to edit and make it so much easier. Right, so now we can see the actual preview has dropped in quality a bit and that's because our proxy has been made. And now we go to play it back. You can see that it's playing back much smoother than originally when we had that high resolution media file. And this is just a way of basically automating it and making it edit faster. So we just grab the rest of our clips and drag them in. And then down here we can see that this is just gonna optimize all those clips so we can edit them quicker. So while that's doing that, let's actually just go through a few tools that you'll need to actually edit. So once we're actually editing and we want to cut something, so say if we want to, we find the clip here and we want to start the edit here, there's two ways of doing it. We can either grab the left side of the clip and drag it into where we want, so say there, or we can basically find the bit that we want and we can either press the cut tool here or we can do Command B and it's gonna cut that clip in half. And then basically from there, we can click on the clip that we don't want and we can either press delete or click the delete button up here. And that's just gonna get rid of it. And it's gonna actually snap back as well. So you can see that when I deleted it, it actually fills in the gap. So that's what's called a magnetic timeline. And just, if you don't like using that, which some people don't, but when you're first starting out, just kind of use what you're used to. If you don't actually like that, all you need to do to turn it off is click on this and that will turn off enable gaps. And then when you click delete, it will leave a gap in there. So then you can either fill that in with something else or add something in there later. Now, while this is actually optimizing the clips, there's a few things I want to talk about. So if we come up to preferences, there's a few things in here. So obviously by default, the automatically check for updates is on, and that's definitely what we want to do. We can download updates in the background, which is really good if you just want to make sure that it's always up to date. If we come into files here, this is where our actual project files and everything is going to be saved. So if we want to actually change that and actually have it in a local folder, then all we need to do is click on one and basically find that folder. Remember, I made that Movavi folder, so let's put everything in there. And then once we've done it, we can actually just copy this path and just paste it into the rest of them. And then we know it's all gonna be stored in that one place. Sharing, this is cool if you want to basically upload stuff directly to, you know, like YouTube, Google Drive, and Vimeo. And acceleration by default, optimize HD clips is already on. And again, we can basically choose where this is stored. It's already storing in that folder. But if you find that your computer is fast enough and you don't want to make proxies, you can turn this off and it just won't optimize those clips when you drag them into your timeline. So now how I actually like to edit is I actually like to edit to the beat. So if we grab our music track in here, we can drag it down into our timeline onto the music track. and we can actually see it here. So now we can use that beat detection. So we can go into, where was it? Under the more one, we can choose beat detection, and we can choose detect audio beats, and that will detect the beats. And then here we can choose kind of like what the minimum time is between beat markers. And we can see at the top, it's added in all these markers, and that's basically telling us that that is where the beats are. So now if I was to actually edit to the beat, what I could do is I could actually just trim my clip, do Command B. We can delete this second one, and then the next clip starts. So let's find the start of this clip, which can be around here. And again, we delete that clip, and because we got that snap magnetic timeline on, it automatically snaps back. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect straight away. We can just kind of like roughly add these in there, roughly get them, you know, like the right length, and then we can like tweak it and make it really perfect later on, which I would usually do. So now if we come down to the scale tab, you can see what's actually happening. So if we go to the left, it makes it smaller, and if we go to the right, it makes it bigger. And basically what that's doing is just compressing time. So we can see that 1:30 is here, and if I drag this to the right, now there is only 30 seconds. So if we want to zoom in to be able to like really, really nail, you know, like a transition or a cut or something, then we can actually zoom in with this. And then we know like we want to cut on this exact beat here. We can really nail that once we're zoomed in. Right, so now I've cut the clips down a little bit more. I can actually refine this a bit more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the end of this clip and drag it to this beat here. And because we've got that magnetic timeline on, it'll snap to that as well. So again, this one's kind of like snapped everything else. So this one's actually now on the beat as well. So we keep coming along. We want to drag this one onto this peak here, because we can see that as a peak, we know it's gonna be a beat. So let's come back here and let's make this one actually longer this time. And I've also noticed as well, when you're actually like moving this, it'll snap to those markers, which is like the beats. So if you're wanting to use those exact ones, then you can. Otherwise, you can just kind of like find where you wanna. Or again, if you wanna add your own marker in, so if you know that this is a beat, again, you can press Command M, and it will add your own marker. And you can actually label that as well. So this could be like intro beat or something. And then you got this marker here, and if you click on it or hover over it, it'll tell you what that marker is as well. So this is really cool. Say if you wanted to add in a clip here and you wanted to go add B-roll of city, and then basically when you click on it, you can go, oh, okay, I need to add B-roll of the city. So that's really, really cool. So now once we've actually got our clips down on the timeline, we need to start coloring them because they're very flat at the moment. So that we can basically come up here and we can come into this color adjustment. So we clicked on the clip, we'll click on color adjustment, and we can add a few different things. So we've got magic enhance, which we'll try first. And this is basically just like a really quick way of making it better. So we can click and drag onto our clip and see what that looks like. And we see that's probably a little bit too blue, so it's not what we want. Let's do an auto contrast and a auto saturation. And then if we want to check what's actually on it, again, we can go to applied effects. We want to get rid of romance, but we do want to have this auto contrast, auto saturation. And then again, if you do want to tweak it, you can come up to this advanced tab, and this is where you can kind of do your own stuff. So again, if we want to saturate the image a bit more, we can add that saturation back in. We're going to add some more contrast or take it away. We can do that as well. And then again, we've got the gamma, shadows, hue, temperature. We can change our white balance. Got a whole bunch of controls in here. And it is quite limited because it's just a basic software. And if you wanted to, step up your game and really change the colors and whatnot, then you want to step into like a higher end software. But for something just basic to just like kind of like color correct some clips, this is really cool. And then again, what's really cool is once you've actually say like, this is the grade that you want, and you've got a whole bunch of clips that look like this, you can actually click on this little save, this little floppy disk icon up here, and actually saves the preset. So this can be C200 base grade, click OK, and then it will actually make a little preset in here. So then if we go to the next clip, instead of having to do that all again, we can just drag this on, and it should apply that exact grade to our clip. Now it's not gonna be perfect every single time, but it's gonna give you a good base to start off with. Now, if you are finding it hard to kind of like see the colors and whatnot, this is where you can come into here and change to a high resolution preview. And again, it'll tell you that, it's gonna like be better quality. It may suffer in performance a bit, but you just need to press OK. And again, we can see it's gonna suddenly jump to a much better quality image. And again, it is gonna play back a lot slower. But if you want to be able to see the image better to actually color grade it, then this is what you might have to do. And with this shot, I actually shot it on a gimbal, but I know that's a little bit jerky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stabilize it. So if I come down to stabilization, click stabilize, we get this little dialog box. And it's really cool because once you stabilize it, it gives you a preview in this little clip, and then you can tweak it before you actually apply it to the final clip. So these are the default settings. They seem to work really good. Let's just click stabilize. And it actually works relatively fast, I've found, like compared to other stabilization softwares. It does a pretty good job pretty quickly. So now the clip is stabilized, we can click here and it will show a preview. And again, it's done a really good job of stabilizing that clip. So if we're happy with that, then we can press apply, or if we want to kind of like tweak a few things here, then we can. I'm happy with that, so let's click apply. So now in terms of audio editing, if we want to basically add some effects to it, then we can, you know, add like an equalizer. There's a few things. So we got like voice enhancement here, got music enhancement, a few other things like that. We can also do things like, we got audio effects in here. We can do like, you know, like a telephone, a muffled, an echo, a radio, all that kind of stuff very easily. And we've also got, we come into synchronization. So this is really cool if, say, you've recorded your video track separate to your audio and you need to sync them up, then all you need to do is you just need to click select two clips and then press synchronize. They do have to have the clips on different tracks. So it would have to be kind of like, this would have to be up here, and then this would have to be like this. So once we select the two, then we could do a synchronize. But again, you want to have, say, like an audio track and a video track, or potentially two video tracks to synchronize those together. Now also, if we just go into our clip properties, there's things here like our volume, our speed of the clip, you know, fade in, fade out. We can easily add those. We can quickly reverse the clip. And we also got this normalize button. And what this will do is it will basically grab all the audio and try bring it to one peak. So if you got like an audio track, or sorry, a vocal track, and you want to basically normalize or make the vocal track basically sound the same in the same volume, then you click on this and it will do a decent job of basically trying to make it the same. So now once we've actually done all our editing, added all our music, changed all our effects and whatnot, then what we can do is we can add little titles and stuff. So Movavi makes it super easy because they've basically added a whole bunch of things in here that you can use, but you can also use stuff from the effects store as well. And this My YouTube channel is actually from one of the packs from their effects store as well. What's cool is that you can click on it and we'll give you these little cool animations that you can customize as well. So say if I wanted to drag this onto my video, I can drag it into this little text one, bring it to the start, and then if I click on this and again go into our clip properties, we can choose what it's called. So let's do Andrew Murphy WA. If I want to, you know, make it better, I can click this and drag it out to fit it in there. Oh, it's a little bit too big. So let's make the text a bit smaller. And now we've got channel 1 down here, but what you need to do to get to that is, so we've got line here. We just need to click this right arrow. Now we've got channel 1. So this can be tech reviews. Bam, again, let's make the text a little bit smaller. Tech reviews, and we can change like the background color if we want. We've got the text color here. If we go onto our clip, we've got our duration and our animation speed, which is really cool. And then if we want to make this into an actual preset, we can save this. And then again, when we go back into our text here, it'll show up here for next time, which is really, really cool. So now if we play this back, we can see that we've got the animation pop up. Just like that. Super duper simple, and it looks really good as well. All right, so now once we've actually finished our edit, so this is our finished edit and want to actually export it out, we can come over to the export button, click this, and we've got a whole bunch of different settings in here. So by default, these should be pretty good for you, but I would always recommend exporting an MP4, AVI, and a few other things. Like there's a whole bunch of different ones if you want to go into phones and other things as well. But MP4 is probably like the most widely accepted format. So now let's go here, we can choose a title. So this can be Movavi video edit. Choose where we're going to save it to. So I'm going to go highest quality. We've got our resolution here, our duration, and we can do things here like just double check the audio settings. If we want to, you know, save it to something for like a phone or something, we can quickly do that. Want to save it for a computer or a TV, we can do that as well. And then also if we want to directly upload it to YouTube or Google Drive or Vimeo, we can sign in and also do that as well. So there's a lot of things you can do pretty easily. And now, if you know a bit more about actually what you're actually doing, then you can go into the advanced tab as well, and you can actually change these. So we could choose, you know, make this actually 4K if we really wanted to. We can choose the frame rate. I know I shot this all at 25. We've got a bit rate. We can choose the quality, so we can go like, you know, highest up here. We can choose our audio settings. Like there's a whole bunch of different stuff if you know what you're doing. But again, if you don't, you can just quickly use these quick presets and it will do a really good job. And then once you're ready to go, you just click start and this will basically just render out your video so it's ready to go. All right, so that is an overview of how to actually edit in Movavi Video Editor Plus 2021. Now, before I show you a way to quickly add unique elements to any video using the Movavi Effects Store, what do I honestly think of this video editor? And honestly, I think there are a few things they could do to actually improve the workflow and make it a bit faster to use. And for someone like me who has like more advanced editing skills, it actually kind of made it harder to work with like fewer tools. I'd have to say the feature that I dislike the most would have to be like timeline snapping to wherever you click. And then also that are auto-saved after every single action, no matter what. But for someone who has never actually edited video content before, it does really simplify it down just to the bare basics and provides enough tools to make a simple edit on your content. And since it also has a magnetic timeline, it does set you up to be able to move on to something more advanced like Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve if you find that this is limiting you down the track. So now you know how to actually use Movavi Video Editor Plus 2021, here is how to use the effects store to add unique elements to any video. So all we need to do is actually just navigate to the Movavi effects store, which I'll link down below, and you can find a pack that really suits your needs. I really love the My YouTube channel pack because it has like all those specific elements that every single YouTuber needs to add into their videos. I also really love the fitness Instagram stories packs because it gives like a really easy template to make very impressive Instagram stories and actually stand out from the crowd as well. Now, if you are interested in this exact video editor and you want to win a license for yourself, then all you have to do is subscribe and comment below what kind of videos you'd edit in this software, and I'll choose a winner in about 2 weeks time. I'll leave the exact date and the details in the description below, so check it out there. Right guys, if you did enjoy this tutorial, then consider liking and subscribing, and as always, stay creative and just be you. See ya.